Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dr. Patty and welcome back to our channel. As you can see, I am solo today. Dr. Angela and I are continuing to social distance, so we won't be filming for a while together. And Dr. Angela is needed by her family right now to do some doctoring and to be of support to them. So for a little while, it's going to be just me with some of my solo videos, so I hope you enjoy them. We took a little break to deal with some life and business and health, so thank you so much for your patience, but I'm so happy to be back and to reconnect. If you're new here, please leave a comment below and let us know if you have any questions, and why don't we just dive right in. So I thought it would be kind of fun and interesting to share with you what my current treatment plan and current supplements are. Now, before I show you exactly what I'm taking, I really want to put a disclaimer out there that this is my treatment plan and this is what I am taking. You definitely need to consult your doctor, your naturopathic doctor, or your functional medicine doctor to figure out what is right for you. But it's always, I think, kind of interesting to see what a treatment plan looks like. And I also want to put out there that most treatment plans are changing all the time. The difference between seeing a conventional allopathic doctor or your primary care physician and a naturopathic doctor is that we're always listening to your body and seeing what your body is saying to us and adjusting to that. It's very rare that we will say, here's this, take it for a year, I'll see you in a year. Sometimes things do go a long distance like that. You know, I've had patients on a certain dosage of thyroid hormone, for instance, and we just aren't there yet in terms of adjusting the dose. But we may also be adding or taking away other nutrients and lifestyle changes to support the thyroid and support actual healing of the immune system and gland and endocrine system, all of that. So it's very multi-layered. The other thing that I want to share is I find that most treatment plans, including my own, and I've said this before, sort of fall into these like different tiers. There's always this kind of foundational aspect of the treatment plan where there are nutrients that will be ongoing forever. For instance, I'll start with this, my well-loved omegas, and I take this liquid fish oil. I'm not plant-based, so I'm okay and feel comfortable taking a fish oil, but there's plenty of plant-based omegas out there that are just as good. And so I will always take some kind of omega. I may not necessarily take this specific formula every day for the rest of my life, but I know, and knowing my health history, that I will take some sort of omega-3 fatty acid probably for the rest of my life. Now, why is that? Because due to our current food structure and nutrient density and toxicity levels in our environment and the type of diet that most of us have, we really have a tendency to have way more omega-6 than we do of the good anti-inflammatory omega-3. So one thing that I will advise is don't go for something that says omega-369. There may be a time and a place for that, and that's where you really do need to consult with your doctor. But most people need more omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 fatty acids are so helpful for mood, brain health, cognitive health, hormones, inflammation, lowering inflammation. So it's got a multitude of different functions. So going back to what I was saying, that generally speaking, I find that there's sort of a foundational treatment plan, baseline treatment plan of things that will be ongoing, and the way that it's formulated, you know, I might do different herbs or different dosages that might change, but that foundational core treatment plan often stays throughout a very long time. And in addition to omega-3s, another nutrient that I will take most likely every day for the rest of my life is some sort of probiotic. This could come in the form of fermented foods, spore biotics, probiotics, many different forms like that. But for me right now, I'm taking this, and this is something that I recommend to a lot of my patients. I like it because it's human microflora, and that helps the microflora, the probiotics, to really stick to our gut a little and stay around and colonize a little bit better than maybe some other strains. But there are so many good ones out there. So I may not take this exact same one every day for the rest of my life, but I know that this will be part of my core treatment plan. And I believe I did a video a while back of like sort of the top supplements that I recommend, and definitely some form of omega-3 and some form of probiotic or microbiome support would be in that category. So I am taking my Super EFA. I just put this in a smoothie. I sprinkle it on food. Sometimes I just take a little swig of it. I give a little to my dog. It's just all around goodness. But like I said, many different forms available out there, and plenty of options for those of you who are plant-based. So probiotics is next. I am also taking a vitamin D supplement. Now this is one of those nutrients that really depends on your sun exposure, your blood levels, your blood work baseline. So according to what my patient's blood levels are, I will change the dosage, the formula, etc. So I say vitamin D, but I always look at my blood levels, which I take once or twice a year, every 6 to 12 months, and adjust according to what my blood levels are. So right now, my levels were actually very, very low. So I'm taking this vitamin D Ultra, but this can easily be way too high for some people. And for some people, you may also need a very high dose. So I'm taking vitamin D, really good for hormones, immune support in particular. And as many of you know, vitamin D is actually not a vitamin, it's a misnomer. It's actually a hormone. So very, very important for our endocrine and our immune system. And with everything going on these days, definitely vitamin D is at the top of my list in terms of nutrients to help fortify us and strengthen our whole system. So I will be continuing to take vitamin D. And then I'm also taking an adrenal support. So a lot of us are under a lot of stress right now, feeling stress of our environment, the collective, our families, uncertainty, just a lot of confusion, whatever we're going through, working from home, just a lot of new changes to our lives. So I do think that adrenal support is really important. Adrenals help our resistance to stress, and we can burn through our adrenals very easily due to long-term chronic stress. So I have been measuring my adrenals since I was in medical school. So for 20 years now, I regularly, every year or so, measure my adrenals to see where I'm going or where I stand. And there was a time right after medical school that I had chronic fatigue. I could barely function, measured my adrenals. They were completely kaput. So it's something that I'm very cognizant of, that I work on. And again, like the probiotics, like the vitamin D, the dosing, the formula will adjust over time. But right now I'm taking this one by RLC Labs. It's called a-Drenal or a-Drenal. And it's a little bit of a stronger formula because it's got animal products. It has glandulars and nutrients and some herbs as well. So it's a really well-rounded formula. So this is something that I am taking right now, but there are so many different types of adrenal support out there. And it's good to determine what your body needs. But I'm taking this one and I really like it. Now, that's sort of my core treatment plan of what some variation of those things are things that I will take all the time. And then right now I'm focusing a little bit more concertedly on my own endometriosis. So I've spoken about this before, but I struggle with endometriosis and I'm always working on my immune system and my hormonal balance to keep those symptoms at bay and to keep things from getting worse. So the next few items that I'm taking are a little bit specific to that, not a little bit, a lot specific to that. So this course isn't something that this round of nutraceuticals isn't something that I would take long term for years and years. It will definitely change, but it's what I'm focusing on now. So first and foremost, I am taking serapeptase. It's an enzyme therapy to help with that endometriosis tissue. So I take this quite regularly. I am also taking this Sulforaphane Brocco Protect formula, and I'm taking this because I have done my hormone testing, specifically my Dutch testing recently, so I have information about how my body is processing and detoxifying my estrogens, what my estrogen and progesterone levels are. So with that information, I'm able to customize what kind of nutrients I need to help with that either estrogen dominance or how to process and detoxify and metabolize my estrogens. And that is a contributing factor often to endometriosis. So there's many ways that we, in sort of the pathway of how our body metabolizes estrogens. And according to my testing, I know that this would be helpful for me. So I am taking this. And then I'm also taking these two guys together. And one thing you need to understand, and I'll tell you in a second what they are, but one thing that I want to clarify is that unlike pharmaceutical drugs that are really often created and focused for like one pathway or for doing this one thing in our bodies, stopping this enzyme or stopping this metabolic pathway or this cellular pathway or this pain pathway, because nutraceuticals are based in whole nutrients, they really do multiple things. That's why the fish oil or the omega-3s, they help with inflammation, with brain, with hormones, with mood, so many different things. And it's same thing with these two guys. I'm taking selenium and vitamin E. Very helpful for thyroid, for antioxidant support, for endometriosis. So they do a multitude of things, and taken together, they work synergistically as well. So I often pair selenium and vitamin E together. And then interestingly enough, if you pair, vitamin C, selenium, and vitamin E together, they also are very supportive. So I am already taking vitamin C for immune strengthening. So these all go hand in hand very well together. So those are the nutrients that I'm taking for my endometriosis right now, but they have definitely changed and rotated. I often have Chinese herbs that I've added in, and I rotate through those. I do see my own Chinese medicine practitioner. It's hard to treat ourselves. So although I have a lot of knowledge and do self-medicate because I am a naturopathic doctor, I also need guidance and go to my own doctors as well. So that's what I'm taking to focus on the endometriosis. And then I mentioned the vitamin C. Right now I'm doing a little bit of extra support to strengthen my terrain, to fortify my body. And what I'm doing is taking a little extra vitamin C, which is also such a simple, easy access, not very expensive, great antioxidant. So in general, good. And if you're traveling, or if you've got nothing on hand and you're feeling a little under the weather, not a lot of traveling going on right now, but in the future and in the past, vitamin C is so great just to be able to pick up in most places. I am also, this bottle is closed. I couldn't find the one that is open and that I'm taking right now. This is my backup, but I am also taking some zinc to help strengthen my whole system. And these are zinc lozenges, and I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with them because I like the zinc lozenge being able to coat my mucous membrane, meaning my throat, and really having actual contact. And sometimes I'll even take a lozenge and lay down so that it really coats the throat and the mucous membrane and has actual contact. But generally speaking, even the cleanest zinc lozenges have some version of a sweetener, whether it be stevia or fructose or actual cane sugar. So I don't love that, and I'm always trying to reduce my sugar load and not trying to overdo it on the monk fruits and the stevias and the erythritols and all the sort of healthier non-caloric, plant-based or alcohol-based sugars. So I'm always keeping an eye on that. So the zinc lozenge, so the other option is to just take a zinc capsule, which I do that as well, but then you kind of miss out on the contact with the mucous membrane. So I sort of alternate between the two, and I just try my best to find as clean of a zinc lozenge as possible. And then lastly, I've mentioned this before. I think Dr. Angela and I did a video together perhaps, but I am taking NAC. This is also one of those multi-function nutrients that I'm taking because I do find it to be quite helpful for my endometriosis. It is a precursor to glutathione, which is our body's most abundant I wouldn't say abundant, but the body's most powerful antioxidant. So NAC helps produce more glutathione in our body. It provides support for the lungs. It helps to thin mucus if you've got phlegm in the lungs. So it's a really good all-around heavy hitter that has so many good functions. So, you know, I was taking this prior to everything going on in the current situation, but it has an added support right now. So even though I was taking it more for my endometriosis, it was helping in sort of a systemic way. So that's kind of what I'm taking right now, and it will change as we go along. The other two things that I wanted to mention are things that I take as needed, sort of in the lower tier category. So if I am having a lot of stress or experiencing any anxiety or having trouble sleeping, I may take some GABA-E's, and I like this because it's got GABA and it's got herbs to help calm the nervous system. I wouldn't take this for myself during the day unless I was having high anxiety or high stress due to a situation, because it can cause a little bit of drowsiness. It can make me feel a little bit too relaxed. The other thing that I want to say is this is something that I take because I have measured my neurotransmitters and I know that I am low in GABA. GABA doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier very well. It does a little bit, but I do find it to be helpful. And if you don't know, GABA is the neurotransmitter that is more calming. We have both excitatory and calming neurotransmitters, and we need a balance of both. We don't want just all excitatory and we don't want just all calming. Typically, due to a lot of stress, most of my patients who do neurotransmitter testing, I do see that if there's an imbalance, it's generally too much excitatory over time, which can cause some anxiety for some people. And then the other thing, I just finished this. The other thing that I take on occasion if needed, if my digestive system is a little bit sluggish, is digestive enzymes. And especially if I'm gonna be eating more animal proteins or a little bit more fat and I need some support, or if I'm under a lot of stress and noticing that my digestive system is not functioning as optimally as it should and things are causing a lot of heaviness after eating or bloating, even if it's, you know, simple foods, I know that my body's probably under stress and that my digestive system is sort of, you know, doing like and just kind of like not producing as much hydrochloric acid and, you know, pancreatic enzymes that I need. So I'll take this for a little bit of support. And this one happens to be called Super Strength Digestion, and it's a favorite formula of mine. I've been taking it for years, and I even have my dad take it when needed. So this is something that I will do sometimes. And, you know, instead of digestive enzymes, I often recommend to my patients, and will do for myself, I'll start with a little apple cider vinegar in water, maybe a teaspoon and about 6 to 8 ounces of water. And I'll do that before meals or first thing in the morning if my digestive system is a little bit sluggish. So you can definitely start with that. But this is my current supplement treatment plan, my current supplement schedule, what have you. So I hope you found this interesting, and as my treatment plan changes, I can let you know if you do find it interesting. And don't be afraid to leave a comment below. As I mentioned, Dr. Angela is a little bit busy with her family right now and taking care of them, so we're sending her lots of good thoughts and good energy, and it has nothing to do with the current virus and the current situation happening. She's got some other support that she needs to give to her family around health right now. So we're sending her good thoughts. And like I said, I will be back soon. It will be solo videos from Dr. Patty for a little while, but Dr. Angela hopefully will be hopping back on to do her solo videos in a few weeks. And thank you so much again for your patience while we took a little hiatus. And I'm so happy to be back and would love to connect. So please say hello in the comments, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share with anybody that you think might find this helpful. And I will see you back here very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.